Am I the asshole for turning my partner's mother away? Context. I, 32 female, own my home. I started dating someone, 35 male, around 18 months ago, and his earnings were impacted by the pandemic, so he asked to move in with me. I wasn't 100% comfortable, but I agreed. It's been going fairly well. I haven't been able to get to know my partner's family the way I would if things had been organic. We met a few times and I've spoken to them via video call. They seem pleasant. Unlike him, I've been able to work from home for the past year, and the toll it took was that I gained weight. It's not a big problem, but I bought some equipment and committed to working out at lunchtime 3x a week. Yesterday, I had an unexpected knock at the door around lunchtime. It was my boyfriend's mother. She said she was in the area and decided to come for lunch so we could get to know each other better. I told her I had plans, working out then showering, but that if she wanted to arrange something in advance another day I'd really like to spend some time with her. She seemed a bit shocked, but she left without incident. When my significant other got back from work, he erupted the second he got through the door. His position is that his family are welcome any time in his home, whether he's there or not. He is not prepared to budge on that. My position is that if someone turns up unannounced, they don't get to be offended when someone doesn't invite them in. As I'm free to be honest here, I do not consider this his home. Our agreement is that he pays for half of the bills, energy, internet, water, etc., but the mortgage is mine. It's my home, he's here because he couldn't make rent, and ultimately if I don't like unannounced visits then they don't happen. He's been calling me a narcissist and saying that I'm on a power trip, etc., whereas I think I'm enforcing a perfectly sensible boundary. Am I the asshole here? Not the asshole you gave him an inch, letting him move in when you weren't 100% okay with it. He's trying to take a mile. This is my house and this is what I expect of you. Here's your shitmate, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Not the asshole. This type of arguing would be dealbreaker for me. He doesn't get to dictate that his family is allowed to come over when he's not home and expect you to entertain them. Getting called narcissist? Not the asshole. If he doesn't like it, I guess he could go and live somewhere where it's just his opinion that counts. Not the asshole. He erupted at you. He didn't walk in and talk calmly with you about how he and his family always turn up unannounced and it was a thing they all did? He didn't ask you if that would be something you could be comfortable with? Are you dating a 5-year-old? Not the asshole. His home? Red flag. He just let you know his mindset. I'd send him packing, he can stay with his mommy. Not the asshole. Even if you were married and owned half the house, I think the person at the house gets to decide who comes in or not. His stance is weird. She said she come over for lunch with you. You were busy and said to make a plan in advance next time. Perfectly reasonable. But again, even if she came over to just be the house, no, still up to you, the person at the house. Not the asshole. Wow. He sure has made himself comfortable in your house. You did nothing wrong and your boyfriend is an asshole. Not the asshole. It sounds like he's not even paying rent? He's living free, minus half the electricity etc. he uses, and is overstepping in my opinion. Everyone else has said it, but adding not the asshole and also to say I've been there, albeit in a slightly different way. I let someone move in for a while on the proviso that he could stay as long as he needed, not as long as he wanted. What that meant to him was if he got his feet under the table I'd change my mind later, while he contributed fuck all. The moment I told him to get out is one I'll never forget, for the look of dumb realization on his fucky face. The game was up. It sucked the life out of me. Please don't let this guy do the same to you. It takes time to recharge after being taken advantage of. He's shown his true colors, with the sulking just underlining the point. Not the asshole, but please just dump the man already. Not the asshole. Aside from the huge red flag of your boyfriend dictating to you, the homeowner, that in his house his family is always welcome, from Monday to Friday you're working, and lunchtime is yours to do what you wish. Lunch at your desk, running errands, hitting the gym, these are all things that would continue as normal if this was pre-COVID. His mom would not have tried to pull that behavior had you been at an office. She tried it. You corrected it. Really, though, time to be firm with your boyfriend and let him know he can move in with his mom if he can't abide your rules in your own home. The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity and the gumption. Not the asshole. You might need to revisit the policy about it not being his home. It's your house, but it is his home. He lives there. He therefore has the authority to invite his guests into the common rooms when he is at home. He does not, however, dictate that you do the same to his guests, and in this case, his mother was his guest, not yours. That is because you would not entertain unexpected visitors when it's inconvenient for you. That's a perfectly reasonable boundary, and you apparently did not discuss that with your boyfriend yet. Apparently he hasn't given keys to his family, so there is still time. Not the asshole. It isn't his house and he is not the man of the house. It's yours and you're the person who gets to make the rules. If he doesn't like it and keeps trying to turn it around on you, then he can go pack up and move in with his mom since he's throwing such a tantrum. Don't put up with that kind of behavior. Give him his walking papers and break it off with him. You don't need that level of disrespect from someone who should be appreciative that you're allowing them to live there. The way he's behaving is showing you what your future with him will be. Not the asshole. You are 100% in the right and he is 100% in the wrong. If he wants his family to be able to visit his home at any time, he should go buy himself a home. Not the asshole. When he has his own home, he can make those decisions. This is not that home. Info. Just to clarify, has he mentioned this policy to you before? Not the asshole. Your decision was entirely reasonable. And I'm kind of iffy on your partner's behavior here. Calling you a narcissist and saying you're on a power trip sounds a lot like trying to undermine your faith in your own perception of the world. Not the asshole. You two didn't move in together, he moved into your house. It isn't your house as a couple, it's your house as an individual, and he doesn't get to storm in and set rules, make demands you're not comfortable with. If he wants to kick off over spending time with his family, he can go live with them. ETA, I don't mean dump the boyfriend over this. I just think if people are unhappy about the way things are done in private places that aren't theirs, then they're free to find places where they are happy with how things are done. Not the asshole. I'd kick his ass out immediately. It's one thing to have a discussion about it, but erupting. Even if your partner was the owner of the house, you still have the right to ask his mom to call and set up a date to see you when it's convenient. That is a normal human boundary, irrespective of your living situation. Not the asshole. And maybe your boyfriend needs to find somewhere else to live if he thinks he has this kind of say over your time and home. Not the asshole, but your boyfriend is a massive one. As you said, this is not his home. Even if he does pay half of the bills, this is your home that he asked to move into. He does not get to make the rules. He is gaslighting you, and I would definitely rethink this arrangement. Not the asshole. And I think you already know that. Gratuitous advice here: you should reconsider this relationship. He seems to have quite a sense of entitlement, which will only get worse with time, for someone who's living rent-free. A dude moves into someone else's home and immediately assumes it's his? What the fuck? He does not respect your rights in your own home. After you took him in 'cause he'd be homeless. He needs to move in with his mom if he loves her so much. Seriously. Kick him out. Do not budge on that. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You can kick him out. He can't kick you out. That itself speaks for whose home it is. Tell him you understand that his family are welcome in his home whether he's there or not, so to kindly get a home of his own. He can give them keys to his house and let them do whatever then. Info. Is it a place to stay, or are you living together? Was there an expectation set that it was supposed to be temporary and that he is going to move out? Not the asshole. Time for him to move out. Not the asshole. You don't stay with someone and start making demands like it's your area. I suggest a long talk with him, and if he doesn't agree, then he can figure out another place of living, like his mother's. Not the asshole. The audacity of this leech. I've read through your comments, you seem to have a good grip on the situation. Good for you for sticking to your gut and reinforcing boundaries. Not the asshole. Please break up with him before it gets worse. Not the asshole. And I see your comments, so I'll just add, please update us. I want to know that you kicked this piece of crap entitled guy out. I want to know that you made the right decision for yourself and didn't let some trashy childish dude control your home. Not at all. It is your home and you're entitled to make healthy boundaries so you can be comfortable there. Your partner is paying rent, but that does not entitle him to unilaterally decide what the house rules will be. Also, he erupted the second he got through the door. What does that mean? Was he yelling, cursing, being intimidating? These are all major red flags. Even if he was upset, a normal, healthy reaction would have been something like, "Hey, why didn't you let my mom come in? She called me and was upset? I thought we had an open door policy?" Cue conversation about what you two can agree to as people living together so you are both comfortable. Not the asshole. You are very much in the right on this. Not the asshole. It's not up to him whether or not you have to entertain his family, especially if he isn't there. That takes a lot of audacity to volunteer your time and home without asking or warning you ahead of time. With the ease of communication these days, there is no excuse for this kind of behavior. Not the asshole. Reading some of your replies to comments, he sounds like a teenager, someone in his mid-30s. It's not even a big deal and he's blown up like this. This on top of, "this is my house now" kind of attitude, just red flags everywhere. I hope you get a positive outcome from this whatever happens. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend overstepping his bounds as the house is yours. Secondly, only someone raised in a barn shows up to someone's house without prior notice, especially to the actual homeowner, op. This is doubly so in the midst of a pandemic unless you're living in one of the few societies which got the pandemic under control, such as Taiwan, Vietnam, New Zealand, etc. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend and his mother made plans on your behalf without even tell you, and then gets angry when you won't allow her into your home during a national lockdown. Speak to a solicitor, but common law marriage, after only 18 mo, in the UK doesn't really exist to my knowledge. At most, he might have lodger's rights, but if your boyfriend isn't on the mortgage deed and doesn't have a rental contract, he should be fairly easy to evict. I would tell him to go. The living situation isn't working out anymore. You did him a favor by letting him move in before you were ready, and now he is trying to control you and verbally abuse you. Nua. Not the asshole at all. This is a deal-breaker. He already is claiming your house as his own. Not the asshole. People who show up unannounced at your door are not automatically owed any hospitality. You weren't ready to go out to lunch and had plans. Mom was just plain rude to do this and you were polite enough to suggest a future lunch date. I don't know why she was shocked. People aren't always free at the last minute. If your boyfriend is home and she arrives unexpectedly, he can entertain her. You don't have to change your plans in that case, either. She doesn't get an automatic invite in if he's not there. Quite honestly, it sounds like he's the narcissist and on a power trip by saying his mom is welcome there anytime whether he's there or not. It is your home, so you do get to call it, but I don't know that he's going to accept it at all. Him and his mom are aw. You are not the asshole. Problem 1, she stopped by, unannounced, on a workday. You work from home. IDC if it was lunchtime, that is rude by itself. Problem 2, she only left you quietly to complain to him. This is petty and manipulative. If she had an issue, she should have stated it to you. Problem 3, it is your home, you should be able to have rules without being insulted. If he can't grasp that, he needs to go. Better you found out now, and well before marriage. Also, if he thinks it's okay to let them in when he's not home, either he gives them keys, or leaves the doors unlocked. Either way, not safe, and I wouldn't allow it. Not the asshole. Honestly, he needs to move out. Not the asshole. He doesn't have the right to decide who is always welcome in somebody else's home. Not the asshole. Not only does he want to dictate what happens in your home, but also with your time. His family should be welcome even when he's not there? Hell no. NTA. And I would love an update on what you choose to do. He has some brass balls saying it's his house, when he had to move in because he couldn't pay for his own house. Toss him and his shit out when he's away for a few hours and get the locks changed. I'm saving this post hoping you'll give us an update of how he reacts when you ask him to leave. My guess is that he either blows up, or he cries and gushes about how much he loves you and blah blah blah. Stop typing. Go get those bin bags packed with his stuff, and put that boot where it needs to go. Reclaim your house. You don't need his crappy behavior to make you feel unwelcome in your own home. He can put his big boy boots on, and go figure out his own life situations, on his own, but with mummy's help, of course. Set yourself free. Not the asshole. Your house, your mortgage, your rules. Not the asshole. My ex was under the impression that anytime his family stopped by I was to drop everything to entertain them. Even if I had a video chat planned with my own family. This is a boundary that needs to be established now. Especially as it's your place. Edit. A typo. Not the asshole. Invite his mommy over to come pick his ass up. Sounds like it's not going to be his home much longer. Not the asshole.